As children, everything is new. Your brain records all of these new details away for safekeeping. So childhood memories are usually rich with detail, whereas adult memories aren't. More memories make time feel longer. This is backed up by research. Scientists found that when they looked at brain scans of people of different ages, they noticed that older people's brains had less activity when thinking about a year that had just passed than when thinking about their childhood, and the difference was especially large when looking at people over 60. But why do older people have less brain activity when thinking about recent years? Well, as an adult, you go through many routines that repeat themselves. Your brain doesn't need to store every little detail about these routine activities because it already knows what happens next. So instead, it only stores the gist of the event. This is supported by research from 2013. They asked a bunch of people to remember the details of events that happened during their everyday lives. Younger participants were better at remembering details of recent events than older participants. But older participants were better at remembering details of events that happened earlier in their lives. So as an adult, you're constantly going through these routines, meaning that you're not experiencing anything new. And so your brain isn't storing away those new details. Months and years start to blur together. And if we look at our whole lives, it seems like each year is just a tiny blip on the radar. Psychology calls this the ratio theory. Basically, each year feels shorter compared to your whole life lived. If you feel like time is flying by, there's a reason for that. But sometimes time slows down, especially when you're on vacation. You might be doing something new and experiencing strong emotions, which requires your brain to make a lot of memories. Researchers peg this as something called attention. When we're on vacation, we pay more attention to what's going on around us. We notice small details, we meet new people, we try new foods. And all of these things require our brains to make more memories. In fact, researchers found that the more positive emotions you experience, the more slowly time seems to pass. And this makes sense because when you're feeling strong emotions, you're more likely to pay attention to what is happening around you. And you're more likely to make memories. That's why time seems to slow down on vacation, but also why years seem to fly by when you're not on vacation. Of course, this isn't actually how time works. Time isn't speeding up or slowing down. It's always passing at the same rate. Rather, it's our brains that are making time feel faster or slower. Now, if you want to slow down the feeling of time, you could try experiencing more new things or trying to pay more attention to what is going on around you. But I don't know. Maybe that is just a clever trick to get you to make more memories so you can keep reliving those moments in your mind for years to come. Thanks for watching.